Why do you curse people and threaten them that you're going to ruin their reputation when they decide to leave you? I am Marwa. There's so many YouTubers who are leaving your villa and going out doing their own thing. Here's the question. Why do you have the urge to curse them? You're the bigger person here. It doesn't matter. You are the bigger person. You are the most educated. Why would you need to curse them? Bless them in their exit and leave them. Let them be. When these people leave, they leave with a lesson. They are teaching you something that's very, very crucial that is going to help you moving forward with your brand. Now, what you're doing, anytime you're trying to drag mud people in the mud, even you're being dragged in the same mud. Listen, if I'm running after a thief, that thief is getting tired because they are running away from me. But that does not mean that I'm also not getting tired. The thief is using energy to run. I'm also using energy to run. And I know you have learned that from Gitu's court case because you realize that as much as Gintu is going to spend a lot of money with the court case, a lot of time, wastage, resources, you too are going to waste a lot of money, time, and energy. And mind you, you have a family to look after. Now, that's the same thing. Stop dragging people just because they've decided to quit from working for you at the villa for various reasons. Others are genuine, others are not genuine. But just because people have decided to leave the villa does not necessarily mean that you have to go and start having a smear campaign against them. Now hear me out, I am Marwa, because this is something that uh, you might need to consider moving forward. You see, I'll give you an example with a well-known person in the in the social media stage in Kenya. Think about a person like Lin Ngugi. Now, Lin Ngugi is one of the biggest, actually, it's a big YouTube channel here in Kenya, way bigger than yours. Way bigger than yours. Now, Lin Ngugi apparently, today is 11th January 2026, she has about 1.43 million subscribers. And her channel, The Serious Lin Ngugi, is only 4 years old. You've been on YouTube for 10 years. Lin Ngugi has been on YouTube for only 4 years. That's the serious part of it. I was checking through her channel and she has content as old as 9 years ago. She did like two, the oldest, but the serious Lin Ngugi, the one after Tuko, is 4 years old. Now I need you to get this. Lin Ngugi was an employee at Tuko. She worked at Tuko. Now, as we are speaking, Tuko is about 1.1 something million subscribers. So eventually, Lin Ngugi has outgrown her former employee. And what does that tell you? Bless people in their exit. You never know. Lin Ngugi never speaks negative and ill of Tuko because Tuko built her. Now, what Ayamaro you are doing, it's like you're cursing the people who would have come later on to save you when you need them. Because listen, you've cut and burned bridges with the likes of Mayugno, Nico Buddha, Itsnasto, and the most important people that would have come for you when you're struggling. But because you want to be seen as a king and you want everything within your hands to be taken as a monarch, that's what is killing you. My honest advice would be if anybody comes and works for you, if anybody volunteers, if anybody comes and stays for you with you, even for a day, and they decide they want to leave for whatsoever reasons, do it professionally and bless them in their exit. Because guess what? When you bless them in their exit, you'll be creating friends out there. Think about the people who have come, and we're talking about, and by people I'm talking about um, YouTubers mostly. Now think about the people who have come there and they have succeeded, like Lynette Kenya, Chalokush, and the others. Those are the ones that I know. Now, Those guys are doing so well on YouTube, very well. And in fact, they even inspired another couple in Mombasa in Coast called the Village Life something. And that channel is actually doing way better than yours. And it was started like a year ago. And they're doing so good, so well. Their content is eating proper views. And it was started last year. But that's not my point. My point is think about the people who came to you, even if it's only for a day, and you bless them. And people even subscribe to their channel because, I'm subscribing from Am Marwa. Let your channel be full of blessing and not curses. Be a blessing. Whether people love you, whether they hate you, even to those who hate you. Because you're too big and you're fighting people like Nico Buddha, I am Mayugno. Guys who, if YouTube died globally, those guys would scramble. They would continue working as masons. For you, you have got options and options and options. You even have a Land Cruiser. You can have that company. You have a big name. You can, collaborate with other companies. Why would you be so much interested in fighting small YouTubers just because you want to boost your ego? You have a very fragile ego that you want to fail. You want to make everybody feel that if they leave you, they're losing. So that when other people come to your place, they know that they cannot fight you. That is going to hurt you badly and negatively. It's not going to help you in any way. Because guess what? Even when you tried the smear campaign against Ayam Mayuguno, against Nico Buddha, and against somebody like Max Bryan, it failed terribly. Because as much as there are some few subscribers who unsubscribed from their channel, the viewership did not drop. In any case, the viewership increased. And what does it tell you? You are no longer at the top of your game. You're declining. You're not at your peak. You're going through a nosedive. You're on your regression. You're declining. And you're losing important people because it's not everybody who watches you is a sycophant. It's not everybody who watches you who lacks emotional intelligence, who lacks ethics. There are people who watch you and they understand the game. There are people who watch you and they understand that you cannot be that negative and you make it. You cannot be wishing other Kenyans bad and you make it. You cannot be trying to kill someone's dream like Nibko Buddha just because he came from Tanzania. And by the way, people need to understand the reason as to why you wanted to work with Tanzanians is because Tanzanians are not paid highly compared to Kenyans. It has nothing to do with skills. It's because you would afford cheap labor from them. And to them, the currency, if you pay them in the Kenyan shillings, when they convert that Kenyan shillings into the Tanzanian shilling, then it becomes big money. And that's why I am Mara. You love cheap labor, you love free labor. And now that's getting out of hand and you're losing all that, you can't cope with it. You can't really understand because you don't understand. These people, they are professionals who you have to pay proper, but you're not ready for that. Go back to the person you used to be. Forget about the big names. You can't afford the lifestyle you want to live as at now. There's a lifestyle you can live comfortably, and God has already granted you that. You have a villa, you have a place, you don't pay electricity, you don't have to pay for a lot of things. God has already blessed you with that. You have cars, you have a Land Cruiser, you have a Mercedes Benz, you have bikes, you have all that. And you have donors who come through for you for no apparent reason, and you have YouTube that is working. As much as there has been a very, very sharp decline in viewership, if you work out things without being personal and salty in every comment you make, about other people, and especially people you really despise. Africans, you really despise poor people. That's one of the things that I've noted. And you people like Fadila TV, you never used to give him shoutouts like you used to give to other people. And I believe the day you went there to his construction, you went there for not because you kind of felt like he's your child, but because you also wanted content, because your content is not contenting. You would have done massive, but did you? You didn't. Anyways, thanks guys for that. See you in the next one.